Would you like to be my lap for this? Because I am going to sit here. Honey, it's okay. Hi everyone. Say hello to Goose. He wants some lap time, I think. Yeah. And welcome to my second YouTube video. For this one, I might pop in from time to time, recording from the future. That is what I'm doing right now. For this video, I will be showing you guys the process of me making my fantasy dress for a fantasy ball that I attended a few months back now. I went to the Columbus Fantasy Ball, and the theme was sort of like a pirates and mermaids situation, and I decided to base my dress off of oh gosh, why is it suddenly escaping me? I'll just put up the picture. Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm just having a brain fart moment. But I wanted to make something loosely based off of this. I thought it was a good inspiration. But I am very much an amateur costume creator. I'm just getting into it. So this video actually has no sewing. There is some hand stitches involved, which I didn't end up recording, but the main thing is I use a lot of fabric glue, and I hope this video can show you that you can make and modify outfits for cool events like this or the Ren Fair using really simple tools and just some time, and you don't need to know how to sew. It doesn't have to be that scary. I'm still nervous about trying out my new sewing machine that I just got a bit ago. So I'm recording this from after the fact. The dress was a success, the event was a success. I'm so excited to show you clips from that and all the fun that I had and the final results. I made myself the dress and sort of a matching outfit for my partner, mainly just modifying a vest for him to sort of match the design I ended up going with for the dress. So I'll have some illustrations to share, this is gonna be a very chill video where there's gonna be a lot of sped up montages of me working on the dress, but really the concept is straightforward, sketching out the design, and just going forward with the gluing process, which just takes a while. So I hope you enjoy this video. Okay, I gotta hit pause. So before I hop back into my original recordings, I wanted to offer a quick outline of the main pieces of this outfit, because having recorded this over a long period of time, I definitely missed recording certain things. So the main thing that I'm altering and adding to is the dress itself. I will include links in the description to all the pieces that I used and the materials that I used. So that's for the main dress. The chemise? Still don't know how to say that, I haven't looked it up. That went underneath, no modification there. I got a petticoat. I recorded parts of that, but that went underneath to add some volume. And then one thing that I forgot to include, which I will hop back in again later to show you, is I also ended up buying a corset, like a leather piece, because the jacket design sort of has that leather centerpiece. And while I couldn't exactly recreate that in the time that I had and the materials that I had, I found something that I felt was a good replacement to sort of gesture towards the original outfit. So back to it. Here it is. This is what I have to begin with. I know it's a lot of black on black, so it's probably hard to see the detail, but this is a separate piece than this. This is a black chemise that I have. Ooh, I'm talking out of frame. This is a black chemise that I had already, and then this is something else that I got online after I decided what I wanted my outfit to look like. So I will share a link to where I got these pieces, but I thought this served as a good piratey base, and I really loved the width I had to work with the bottom of the skirt. Like, this has room for volume. So, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to have a petticoat under this or not. So that's gonna be my first try. We're gonna see if the petticoat works. Just got this off the online. I will admit I did get some things off Amazon. I do not advocate for that. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do within your budget. And yeah, I'm gonna try to throw this on underneath, see what it looks like. Okay, so it definitely needs to be fluffed out a little bit. The angles are a little strange because it was just folded up, but I'm liking the shape that it's giving now. This is feeling much more ball gown. Like I said, I'll work with underneath, and it's definitely peeking. Can't really see. There's like a slit at the bottom. So it's definitely peeking through. I think I'm going to, the dye just arrived for the underneath, so I think I'm gonna try dyeing that yellow. And then I am going to, as advised by a friend of mine, I'm gonna add the trim. I'm gonna use fabric glue to adhere it and then reinforce it with hand stitching where I think it's needed most. I think this will really emphasize the lines of the dress. Like, you can't, in this lighting at least, see where the sheer starts and ends with this main dress and the line down the center. So we're gonna do a trim all the way around the different edges of the dress. So here we are. Here's the dress. I'm liking the feel. So I forgot to show the corset that I ended up using, which you will see in the final videos and photos. And you got a little bit of a preview of before. It's essentially this. I got it from French Meadows. Again, I will include links to everything that I have purchased for this outfit. I thought that this was a nice neutral centerpiece. I didn't want like a full-length corset. And the paneling I thought was a nice subtle gesture to sort of the panel pieces that exist in the original design. So if I wasn't gonna be able to accomplish that, I thought this was a nice replacement. So I am currently just laying this out on my dining room table. This is the best spot I have to work with. That is flat and big enough. So something that I didn't show is that initially I wanted to get an idea of where I wanted to put this thicker trim that I have. Here, let me get, well, it's a bit unwound, but we can bring it closer to the camera. I got this online, I can share where. But I wanted a thicker trim to go along the main edges of the dress. And so I took some pins and I pinned that to get an idea of if I liked how it looked. Without like a, what do they call it? Not a mannequin, but without like something to hang this on, it was really hard to pin. I used some cardboard in between the two layers to make sure I wasn't pinning the fabric underneath. But once I got to a certain point, I was like, you know what? I already know this is gonna look good. I got this liquid stitch original fabric glue from my local craft store, and I cut off a piece of this trim and some scrap fabric, and I wanted to see if it would dry clear. I assumed it would, but I wanted to make sure. It seemed to dry fine. So after looking at my dress, I have a pretty visible seam line that goes along the edge of the dress. So I decided, let's just send it. I'm starting with like a thin line of glue to go along this top line. And I'm sort of lining that up with the edge of like the stitching of that edge of the dress. And then I'm gonna go back through and add little dabs of glue for the sort of the side of it, because I want to make sure it's not gonna get caught in anything or like bend out. So yeah, I'm starting with this because I feel pretty confident about where I want this to go. I might try to use this hairdryer to speed up the drying process because it says it'll take 30 minutes. And when I did a little test run here at the bottom of the dress that you can't see, and it did take a while to dry. So I grabbed that and some loose rocks that I have to help hold it down, just kind of weigh it down while it dries. And see if that speeds it up. I have some other trim to work with. I got this online, so I wanted something fairly thin to try to work and make the details of the inside of the dress. that's where I'm at. And we're gonna get gluing. So I am going to have to do some bends now, so my plan is just to fold it over and reinforce that spot with some thread, and we'll just keep going. So I ran into a bit of an issue. I started gluing and then realized after I started gluing that I didn't measure the length of the skirt, like around the bottom edge. I had a pre-cut piece that I was just automatically using, thinking it would be long enough, and then realized I probably should have double checked, and it's not long enough. So I think what I'm going to do is at one of the seam lines, I'm going to sort of like slice the pattern in a convenient spot, and then I'm gonna overlap that pattern by one so that it's not like at an edge that could like fold easily, but I'm gonna like overlap it instead. And I think that'll work. I might like see if I can burn the edges a little bit just so it doesn't fray. Glue will certainly help, so we're gonna try that. And just like that, I don't think it's really noticeable, especially from afar. It does stick out a little bit more, but I wouldn't be able to tell. So I wasn't sure what to do with the corner. Because this is, I don't know, it frays so easily and it's very delicate, it's not a solid piece of fabric, I couldn't think of a way to fold it or to make it a clean line, so, oh, ignore that, that one went wrong, but I'm just gonna do this and call it a day. Okay, so this dress has these split like panels of a different texture. It kind of looks like waves. And it reminds me of the split on the side of the jacket, and I wanted to highlight that since it's not really obvious, especially under certain lighting. So I'm taking this thinner trim and I'm going up and around that to highlight it because I didn't want it to be quite as thick as this one. And yeah, right now we're just doing glue. So I knew I wouldn't have time to do the full design of the original costume, so what I wanted to do was pick a main part of the pattern in the front and the back to do a strip of in the front and a centerpiece in the back based off of the original. Unfortunately, I did not end up doing the gold thread, redoing the thread in the center, but I think overall it turned out pretty good. So here's a quick speed paint, and then you can see me do it in person. One thing that I think is worth mentioning is that the fabric glue that I used is water soluble while it is still wet. So there are many times that I made a mistake that I did not include in this video, where when I did make that mistake, I took a wet Q-tip or a wet cotton ball and dabbed away, brushed away at the excess glue that I may have put down in the wrong spot. So know that that is an option. It does allow you to backtrack a bit. There was a slight shine to the fabric afterwards, but I would say that for the purposes of my project, it was not noticeable unless you were studying the dress super up close. Alright guys, can't lie, I'm very tired. It's been a tiring few weeks, but I need to get this done, and I don't feel like recording the very back of it. As you can see, I got the front glued. So we're gonna do a little edit, a little simple, watch this. And just like that, a few hours later, the back design is done. Next on my list, since I've glued all my designs front and back for this, is I will be reinforcing as much as I can of it with some hand stitches in the important areas because I don't have time probably to do all of it. I will also need to do some similar designs on my partner's vest for the event. I have this old sort of felt cheap hat that I got genuinely back in like 2016, 2017 that I for some reason held on to. So I ripped off some of the decorations that I had poorly sewn on before, and I'm going to try to layer on some of the trims that I bought to make it look fancier, a little nicer, and it could be a fun little accessory for photos. I think I was just about to record the different parts of the dress. I dyed it. I dyed it yellow because I thought that might stand out a bit more next to the black with the gold accents. So back to it. So this is the vest for my partner. It's inside out. It was originally redder, and then I put it in a dye bath with black dye and just kind of kept it in until I was happy with it. I didn't expect it to go fully black, so it kind of came out like a darker maroon color, which I'm happy with. So that will be on the outside. The reason why I turned it inside out is because the one that I wanted to get, the size that I wanted to get, wasn't going to restock for a few months. I had to call the store. So, but they had a large in stock, so I'm going to attempt to make some adjustments myself. So I thought, this might not be an actual method. I'm just improvising, and I haven't looked it up. I'm gonna have them wear it inside out, and then I'm going to sort of try to do an even pinch on either side to however far in it needs taken, and I'm going to use pins to mark that. And then I will see if I can get my new sewing machine running. I'm a little intimidated by the idea of using it for a project. I'm a little scared. I'm not sure how it functions. I have an instruction manual though. Worst case, I could hand do that. Just take it in and not cut anything off, and it could be a temporary deal for this event. You wouldn't be able to tell because it'd be on the inside. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go measure it on my partner, and I'm sure I'll update you on how it turns out. And you'll never guess what I didn't do. Record the final results. So here it is. I did, as far as the outside design goes, very basic. There's a seam that runs around and then to the back. And I just did the thick trim on there. And then the corners I did the same design that I did on the bottom corners of my dress. And yeah, it's about all I did for his. That's all I really had time to do. But it definitely made us look like a matching pair, which was really cool. And then as far as the stitch goes, I did use my sewing machine, and it definitely wasn't perfect, but I had pinned, sort of pinched and pinned where the excess was on him, and I took it in, I sewed along a line that I drew And, you know, I ironed it before and after I sewed, and I would say that it turned out pretty good. I mean, from the outside, yes, there's like a little fold here, but for the function of the event, you really just, I don't think you can really tell that I took it in. So it worked out. I would say that in a pinch, that method works.
And here's a quick preview of the final results. I did this at home. I couldn't really get a full body view, so shout out to Fairy Tale Flora for getting a video of me at the event, which will be coming up next. I truly had such a great time at this event. I have been to one of theirs before last year. It was super fun. I had to come back, and this year I decided to pay for a slightly more expensive ticket. I got to experience a little bit more of the plot, a little bit more of the interaction, and had prompts that encouraged me to interact with the actors and the staff that were running the event, which really felt super immersive. I had such a great time dancing super late, something that I feel, these types of events I feel like give you a chance to, in a way, sort of relive that high school dance prom vibe. Like at the time when I was younger, that was not my scene, but now that I'm an adult, this is such a rare opportunity to just hang out with friends, stay up late dancing, dress fancy, dress pretty, and it was just great. I hope to see them again next year.
And that concludes the making of this dress and the event that I went to. I wanted to remake the outro because I wanted to make sure that I include the great photos that I got from Fancy Folk Photography. I will include them here, and I will definitely have, I've already posted some and will post some more on my Instagram and my TikTok. I thank you if you're watching this, for getting some photos of me after the event. Since I didn't end up getting any before, it was really fun to go out and do that and to get stared at by people at the beach. So yeah, this is the conclusion. I will say long-term for the dress, the glue held up pretty well. There were no issues through the dance. I even made the stupid decision to put it in the wash in delicate mode. There was a lot going on in my life, and the mental energy was not there to hand wash it, which I definitely probably should have done. It held up fine. There's some parts that are loose. You know, long term, I definitely would recommend actually sewing on any sort of trim decoration if you want it to last. But it made it to my new location. It's hanging in my closet. It's doing fine. So overall, I'm very happy with how it turned out, and I hope you think so too. If you would like to see more videos like this, if you enjoyed sort of this low-key montage process of creating, I should have more of that coming up next. And feel free to let me know what kind of videos you would like to see me do in the future. But until then, I hope you have a great day, or have had a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.